It's Age of Sigmar 2. It's Soul Wars coming for you. It's Age of Sigmar 2 with Remington, Andy, and you. It's the Andy and Remington Steel Show on a Wednesday night. It's the Andy and Remington Steel Show for your home delight. We're talking about Age of Sigmar 2 and Soul Wars looks cool. We're talking about what was Warhammer Fantasy. It's easy to learn the rules when it is now. It's the Andy and Remington Steel Show on a Tuesday night. Hey!
It certainly is. Welcome, one and all, to the Andy and Rem Show, episode 102, I believe we're up to now. And it's an exciting time of year, obviously, with the World Cup going on. One of the most exciting World Cups of all time. So I thought, what's the one way we could top that? Now, there's no way you could top that with just a single unboxing, because obviously review copies of this bad boy have already been out everywhere, being unboxed by everyone and their dog over the last few weeks. So the only way we could possibly surpass that is if we do a world first, a double live unboxing, double the fun, double the drama, double the reactions, double the everything.
It's Double Bubble with Andy and Rem.
We won't call it that, but it will be double a lot. So you have your copy of Soul Wars right there, I am led to believe.
Oh, yeah. I can't see myself, so I don't know if I'm pointing the right way.
You are.
Yeah. Look over there. This is all my things and stuff all on that bed. And over the, in the other corner is all the stuff I'm selling on eBay. That's going pretty well. But yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be cool. I've had it unopened for 3 days, and it's been
some commitment and dedication to the cause there. So we could have this world first double unboxing. But before we do that, shall we talk about what else we ordered with our money that was contributed to the channel and the show by someone who wishes to remain anonymous, so an anonymous benefactor to the channel. What did you purchase in addition to the Soul Wars set?
May I just say, my ship has finally come in. 4 years of making this, making this YouTube channel for you all, being obviously the main part of it all, under the umbrella of Andy. It's been absolutely fantastic to finally reap the rewards and get a box of Soul Wars plus Malign Sorcery.
I'm led to believe you've already opened that one as well.
Yeah, but was that part of the unboxing?
No, so you're all right there.
There you go, see. Well, we'll come back to that later. Plus the new paints. There we go. Haven't tried them out yet because I haven't unboxed the Nighthaunt yet.
Are they the new ghost paints?
They are. Got Hexwraith Flame, which is a shame because I've sold my old Hexwraiths. But there you go. And I've got Nighthaunt Gloom. I had some pants that colour once. Yeah.
Once?
Yeah.
No longer?
No, they looked a bit... They did look a bit offish, a bit mouldy.
Well, that can happen to a pant occasionally.
Yeah. And then I also, while I was in the shop, I bought a little box of Night Goblins as well to complete my Moonclon Grots army, which is looking awesome. And I'm just going to wait for the Banshees because the shop didn't have any. I don't know if they're out yet, but they didn't have any, so I'm going to go back and get them next week.
Where did you make your purchase from?
Gifts for Geeks or Tabletop Tyrant in Leicester. Brilliant shop, 20% off all Warhammer stuff, and they do a lot of Magic the Gathering, a lot of 40k, a lot of everything. At Sigmar, I mean, it was great in the shop. I went there Saturday morning about 10:30, and there was a really long queue. And these Soul Wars boxes were getting snapped up and there wasn't any malign sorcery boxes left. And by the time I got to the counter, the guy had just picked up another order, so I took it straight off him and bought that. But yeah, it looks like this is really thriving.
Well, I can show you what I got in addition to my Soul Wars box before we go on. So you can tell I ordered from Element Games because there are a couple of the Element Games suites that they generally throw in with orders there. So considering the amount I spent, I'm sure I was entitled to more than 2. There must be a mistake there, surely. Then we have the mighty General's Handbook 2018.
You bought that?
I did.
I didn't buy it. I could have bought that, couldn't I?
Well, I don't think we're both going to need it. I think if you've got the Malign Sorcery and I've got the General's Handbook, we should be all right.
Okay. That's just basically loads of rules, isn't it, and stuff?
It is. It's got all the points and all that kind of shenanigans in there.
Oh.
And also the #1 purchase, which I'm actually going to unbox now before we go on. Look at that.
You actually bought one of them?
The combat gauge, the brand new combat gauge that isn't a necklace. So, shall we chop this open right now and have a look? There we go. Look, live on camera.
What
pair of scissors ready.
Andy?
Well, I feel like the other devices I've had aren't exactly the same as this. So why the hell not? And chopping this open here. And there we go. And look at that. That is some combat gaugey goodness.
Is it real? Is it plastic?
It feels nice and sturdy and metal, I think, based on the weight of it.
What
so
is
it's got all your handy dandy Age of Sigmar measurements: 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, and 3 inches there.
Give it a sniff, Andy.
It doesn't smell particularly of anything. But look at the shine on that.
Wow.
There you go. So there's jealousy already in the chat, no doubt.
What's that curve for?
I don't believe it's for anything.
You put that on the base, and then you measure 3 inches from there. Do you know what I mean?
You certainly could do. Now, it's handy for measuring gaps between the models, for instance, and other small distances. And it's so tiny, and it's just a handy-dandy size, I think. So that's going to go to one side. That's the first exclusive unboxing there.
Oh.
So, are we ready to embark on some double unboxing goodness after we've had a look in the chat?
All
so
right.
if you want to retrieve your Soul Wars box, so we can do this simultaneously.
It's really, you haven't got one yet. It's well heavy. Just telling you now.
It is very heavy. Let's look in the chat. We've got the likes of Bazooka J. Rambo, Mickey Jenber, Stu Gibson commenting away in there, Nick Trajano. There are a couple of people commenting. Oh, there's Skeleton Flower as well. Let's see. Mickey Jenber. Oh, that's a bit of a crack at Wayland Games there. Mickey Jenber says, we can tell you didn't order from Wayland Games because we can see the box. So that may be a subtle dig at Wayland Games' reputation for being a bit on the slow side.
The camera's not on me at the minute, is it? So I can pick my nose.
Well, I'm going to put it on you right now, so don't pick your nose.
What?
You were caught red-handed. Okay, I think let's. What on earth is he doing, ladies and gentlemen? We can just about see what you're doing. So let's get this shrink wrap off, shall we? Let's get it off at the same time. This is going to be exciting.
Right, is the camera on you?
It's on me first, so I'll take mine off in a slow and. I'm trying to think of a word to describe the process that isn't overly suggestive.
You've done this before, Andy, taking off things like that.
Right, there we go. The shine is gone. Let's completely get that out of there. And then let's pass it over to Mr. Remington so we can see him get his sheen off.
Now, where do you just slash it there? Or?
I would go for the corner where it's less likely to cause any damage to the artwork because this is a fantastic looking box.
Really cool. Oh my gosh, this is like just like the birthday I never had. I did tell you about the last birthday party I had, didn't I? Made that girl cry.
Oh dear.
Yeah. That was when I was 11 years old. Look at this.
It is absolutely monstrous, isn't it? I mean, I'm going to get the feel of the weight of it, and it is a beast. It's much heavier than the previous box. So do you want to unsleeve yours first?
Okay, yeah, and you do. It is an unsleeving. It's not like a chocolate box with a flap.
No, it's not.
Come to the side like this. Oh wow. Oh wow. There's a massive battle diorama picture there.
Right, let's look at that in HD on my camera then, shall we? So let's get this sleeve off here. Here we go. The sleeve is being removed. And there we go. Wrap your eyeballs around this, folks. That is some hardcore Age of Sigmar goodness going on there.
Now, that bit you're looking at is a box within a box.
It certainly is. And you can see it's got little handles in here to lift it out. So I think we've salivated over this artwork enough. So let's take that box out, shall we?
It feels like a special edition, doesn't it, box? It feels like...
It does.
No, it feels like it could.
Shall we look at the stuff beneath the box first?
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
So let's have a look. You'll see the gigantic mammoth rulebook as soon as you get underneath that. I mean, look at the thickness of that. That is a rigid hardback.
Well, so this is a core book. So this doesn't have the General's Handbook in it.
This doesn't have points, and the General's Handbook will have additional scenarios and other features that will be updated on a yearly basis.
Uh-huh.
And underneath that, it looks like we've got this book here, which presumably is for the miniatures that come in the box. Maybe a little campaign or something like that you can do with them. With the War Scroll cards as well in there.
Oh, let's check I've got that. Yep, I have that as well.
So let's get that out of the way and see if there's anything else before we go back and open things properly. So there's bases underneath, I can see here.
These were packed by hand, weren't they? You can tell, like, you can't get robots to do it.
The measuring stick of doom, which isn't a whippy stick anymore. Let's pass over to Mr. Remington to look at his struggles there.
Dropping stuff here. This is loads of stuff, man.
It is.
A set of dice here.
And they are nice blue dice.
I like those dice.
Blue, slightly translucent looking.
Yeah, really nice. We've got a card here. It says next steps in about 6 different languages. And it says, it says you can buy battle tomes, the realm of battle, easy to build banshees and stalkers, and so it's pretty cool, man. It's like other stuff you can buy.
And if we look over to mine in a second, you can see that we've got this sample here, which is a little taster of some of the Black Library stuff. And presumably it's to get you to go out and purchase some of the Age of Sigmar fiction that's out there from Black Library.
That's really nice. That and the book, they were selling that at my store. The actual book sold was.
Oh, was that flying off the shelves as well?
Not so much. Do you know everyone's buying the General's Handbook? That seems to be the one, and obviously the big box that we're holding. But I don't know if you've seen. Yeah, you're on the transfers. I've just seen them too. We've got a Lord Arcanum, Castigators, Sequitors, and these are all the various Stormcast iconography that you can put onto there.
Look at that Super HD.
Wow, that's amazing.
Right, so we've had a nice look at that. There are some bases in there as well, of course. You can't have the bottom of a box without bases. So
yeah.
I'm going to assume this one is for the Stormcast mounted character.
What do you think about the bases having the holes in? I like that.
I do kind of like the freedom of positioning the model yourself on the base. But It depends, because if they've positioned it well and nice and centrally, so the mass is nicely evenly distributed, then that's fine. But if the position they've got it in as the default position isn't what I want, then it's going to be annoying.
Now, here's a question for you, Andy. When you go into the faction rules, why don't they have the points on the cards, or the points in the book next to each description of each model? You know.
Well, they want the points to be updated regularly, so that's what the General's Handbook's for, so they don't have to reprint the other books all the time.
Oh, well, why don't they just leave a blank space and you can just write it in yourself then?
Well, that's a bit old school. Oh, people want to know what the box smells like. Are we going to have a sniff?
I thought that would be a popular request there. Oh, yeah. If you smell the Battle for the Grimm's Force, that definitely smells good. Or is it the card?
Well, we're going to open all these things in a minute, so we'll find out. So let's get the box out of the way, because we've had a quick look at everything, so we're going to delve in detail to some of the things that need further unwrapping now.
This core book, I don't know if you want to do that next, but it is heavy. The front cover is just phenomenal.
Let's go for the super heavyweight core book first, then. So let's crack this sucker open. Carefully, not to destroy any of the pages, of course.
It is. That I can't tell you how good that picture is, and the emotion on the face of that poor lady having to wear that heavy armor.
Well, it's just nice actually seeing a face on a Stormcaster terminal for a start.
I think she'd be much rather be free of that heavy weight and run around with a war dancer, only a tattoos on. You know?
Classic Remington. Okay, there we go. So there were some people out there actually complaining that there were women Stormcast all of a sudden, they were claiming, even though it was apparently in the fluff the whole time, that they were men and women warriors. So anyway, let's have a look. Oh, shall we smell the book as well?
Oh, you're ahead of me there. I'm just still thinking about how...
Well, while you unwrap, I'll get the first sniff of the inside of the book.
I was promised that I would get Denver coming out of this box as a late birthday present, but it's not happened.
It smells like a new book, oddly enough.
Oh, open it up, Andy. But you get a lovely, like, what's it called, where it holds the page for you? Bookmark.
A bookmark, yes.
Yeah, you get a lovely bookmark. Well, I have anyway. Have you?
Yep. Is yours open yet? Are you still struggling? Oh, there he is. He's open. He's having the sniff.
That is the most, there. That is just, yeah, it's good. Oh, it's real good. I'm on the page. It's funny. It's funny. The page that I've opened is some pictures of witch elves here wearing not much, and that just happens to smell the best.
That would be the page that falls open in your copy, wouldn't it? Even before you've been in there, they knew beforehand.
Yes, Ulgu, the realm of shadow. Yeah.
Right, let's have an in-depth look at a couple of pages now. We don't want to get hit with any kind of copyright, so we won't look at every single page.
It looks amazing. It's just wow.
Artwork. Boom. Look at that.
And there's loads of writing in it as well. It's not like just a picture book like some of them early battle tomes.
This is a monstrous tome indeed.
Wow. When am I going to read this, though? That's the thing. I have to read it in bed.
Well, don't you do all your activities in bed?
Well, no. I don't actually, Andy. I'll take that, actually.
Well, what about Remington's pillow talk?
Oh, well, yeah. I need to do another one of them sometimes.
Some battle scenes here.
Right.
I'd be interested to see if anyone's game of Age of Sigmar ever looks like this. I was hazard a guess that it would not.
Well, that tidy.
It's like they're playing 2,000 points on a 2x2 foot square.
You know, I watched a cracking video today by Paul Conti about how Age of Sigmar has developed over the last 4 years. And he was saying at the start, it was really messy. It was just one big pile-in. But now, an actual game of Age of Sigmar isn't like that. It's really a lot of, you know...
nuance and synergy.
Yes, and terrain as well. Terrain plays a massive part in it now. And obviously, it's not just how many you kill. It's, you know, got to actually get the missions. And he mentions you can actually be tabled in the game but still win because you did the objectives. Which is interesting.
Yes, I do like that in games. Let's some nice Caradron overlords there that still bring me pain thinking about painting them.
Well, you got a page there, Andy, because it's a bit fuzzy at the minute.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find something interesting to stop on every now and then.
I love this. It's got full color artwork for every faction and every realm. So I'm just looking at one here. The pages aren't. Oh, they are numbered. Looking at page 188, and it's a wonderful picture of the Flesh Eater course. I'll just show you that. Oh yeah, that's the one. Look at that. That looks like a fun place to be, doesn't it?
It depends what you're into, I suppose. I'm sure some of your concert crowds have looked a bit like that.
Well, a load of boldies. Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Matched play games. So just mine fell open on that section. Yours falls open on Witch Elves. Mine falls open on matched play. Who would have thought that?
Well, that's your thing now, isn't it? You're a champion. You're a champion tabletop gamer.
Well, technically, I was already a championship tabletop gamer. If you take into account my victory in a Relics tournament 3 years ago.
This program is awesome. You've got a championship tabletop wargamer and a bastion of general knowledge and rules and tactics, and on the other side you've got the charm and wit, and you've got musical skills and painting skills. Got everything there.
Well, you've just described me with all of that. So what do you bring?
I bring what's known in France as the je ne sais quoi. Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that. Yes. So if you're wondering what Romington's referring to, I am officially a champion wargamer after sweeping home to a victory at a Dead Zone tournament yesterday. So there you go.
Were you playing the zombies or were you playing the other guys?
I was the plague faction, yes, so I did have some zombies.
Wow.
There you go. Half the players at the tournament were using that faction. Right. Shall we? We've looked at the core book. Shall we put that to one side for a moment?
I mean, this whole thing was the same price as the Silver Tower, right? And
something like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that's caught your eye? Any particular sections of the book you want to touch on? Got the camera on you at the moment.
Wow. Flipping it. I mean, there's so much. Obviously, I'd like to see more female heads on the Stormcast, I guess, but you can.
Then they're mixing them in though. Some of the regular troops are women now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm looking at Gur, the Realm of Beasts, and there's only one page to that.
That's not a good sign.
Page 112. To be fair, they've got 2 pages here on each of the realms. They've got a big time chart about what's happened and when. Some, a lot of fluff here. It's good. A lot of fluff to flesh out this world. So I think we've come a heck of a long way in 4 years here.
The reason I've got the camera on you at the moment is that I'm currently just having a quick read of the sections, which means for the audience, my version of the book would be upside down, which would look a bit silly.
Yeah, and then there's a bit, I'm looking at page 235 about terrain, and it's really cool because they've got a scenery table where you roll a d6 and it tells you what the scenery is going to do, right? That's page 235. And what they've done, they've put a nice little symbol next to each thing. So if you roll a 1, it's damned. And D3 mortal wounds.
I can show people that section here because that's part of the core rules.
I love those symbols, you see, because they've also brought out dice where they're terrain dice, and instead of symbols, you get those symbols, which is pretty
corresponding symbols.
Yeah, like that. Did you want to buy those dice, Andy? No. Yeah, maybe. Andy? Andy? Am I still alive? Andy's gone. Let me write a message on here. What else? What happened? Can you all hear me? I think we've been dropped. Maybe I've been dropped. Maybe Games Workshop shut us down. GW. Can you hear me, guys? We type that because I can't. Can you hear me? I'll sing you a song. Can you hear me? Someone respond. Can Jesus Christ. Andy, oh, you can. All right, Andy's internet is temporarily dead, so I don't know if the show is still recording or not. But now I can finally show you all the pictures. Oh, damn, I can't actually show you because there's no visuals. All the stuff that Andy bans me from, I can actually reveal. So you kind of hit the jackpot here. Except the only problem is there's no visuals. Wow. Maybe I could read you something. Would you like me to read you something? That'd be pretty cool. I can do it in an Andy voice if you like. Yeah, Andy's just texted me. The show should still be running. All right, let me tell you. Yeah, it was nice. In the shop, when I was queuing up to buy these things, I talked to some of the fellow geeks. And I was like, so where do you play this game? And two of them were saying, oh, we're both 40K players, but this looks so good. We've decided to get into this. So that was kind of cool. And then I said, do you want to, well, if you want to meet up for a game, that'd be pretty cool. I don't really do rules and stuff, so you'd have to read them first. And they said, yeah, cool, which was nice. And yeah, they said, oh, so where? I said, where can you find her? Where can you find her? Where you want to get in touch? You're on Facebook. Look up Remington Steel. And they went, oh, I don't do Facebook. I said, what about YouTube? And they went, yeah. And I said, look up the Andy and Rem show. So if you, my friend, I can't remember your name, but if you're watching the show, this is our show or my show featuring Andy, even though it's on his channel. And he usually gets the freebies, but today is a bit different. It's me sharing the booty. Yeah, sharing the looty. Do you want me to read something in Andy's voice? All right, let me read you a sample chapter from Soul Wars by Josh Reynolds. Ooh. All right, it's got a lovely little introduction here and little pictures of all the various books. I've been listening to some Warhammer audio books, by the way. Andy's waiting for it to come back on. So I've got the book here. You see that? At the heart of the realm of death, the undying king waited on his basalt throne. Does basalt mean it's made of salt? Or is it salt-like? He sat in silence, counting the moments with a patience that had worn down mountains and dried out seas. You know, when I was in primary school, we had this little test. We're doing history, right? And our teacher said, right, you've got to go in teams of two, and here's a problem. You've got a mountain, and you are building a train through the United Kingdom. You're building a train track, right? How do you think they did it when they got to big mountains and hills? Did they put the train track going over the mountain, or what did they do? And we all had about 2-3 minutes to come up with solutions. And I thought I was being a genius by saying, well, what you do, you get a horse and cart and you fill it with really heavy things and you drive it over the mountain and then back over the other side. And you keep doing that until the hill or the mountain becomes flat. Then you can build your train track. And my history teacher said, well, it's a good idea, but it would probably take about 100,000 years. And then he said, you could try blasting it. And then it all made sense. fact, that's what they used to do. They used to blast through rock. Anyway, such little lives. Oh no, spiders wove their webs across his eyes, and worms burrowed in his bones, but he paid them no mind. Such little lives were beneath the notice of Nagash. His awareness was elsewhere, bent towards the great work. Then Nagash stiffened alert. Purple light flared deep in the black sockets of his eyes. Should I just ignore Andy? He's texting me like crazy. This is great. This is the Remington Steel show, man. At last, I got my own show. Yeah, man. What can I do? Should I play a little tune? Tell you what else I can do. I can show you what else I bought, because I bought Malign Sorcery, and I couldn't wait to open this thing. Oh, keep reading. Keep reading.